How about now? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, good. So we probably have to, I don't know if Tavi, if we got to go set up a new chat or we get a new link going there. Hey, everybody, Roto coming back to you live as we're advancing to the lead deeper into the finals. And I don't know if we were just off the air. We did some camera adjusting so we can get you 2 pairs at once. And Ed just made the announcement that 3 of these pairs, there will be a winner. There will be a winner that advances off this pair to the finals at the and the chance at $20,000. So, yes. Let's see. It looks like we have the senior over on 37.38. We've got the middle here on 39.40.
Yep.
We've got the under.
Yep.
And there, and then we've got the handicap. Looks like we've got 2 pairs down there.
Yep.
45 through 48.
Yep.
So those guys. So yeah, these scratch pairs will have a winner come off this pair, and then the handicap pairs will have probably another round or 2 down there. So they'll actually move down this way. We get you guys some live stream, some good stuff, and we'll get it figured out. So as Tavio's getting that going on, Matt, feel free to keep talking because I'm going to do some video work here.
All right.
Via my phone. We got the chat up and live.
Chat's up and live.
I need to reboot my phone so I can actually redo my phone so I can actually get this link shared to our Facebook page. So,
all right.
Go for it, buddy.
All right. And everybody out there watching, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to pop them into the chat. Myself or Mr. Midas to my right will take any and all questions.
I don't care who you are. That's really funny right there.
Yeah, it is. Yep. So the joke between me and Mr. Schlem this week has been, if we after we work, if we choose to play some video poker, it's basically I watch Schlem win money while I win nothing.
Come on.
That's kind of been my job.
Come on.
It's kind of been my job for the week. So, got to help the big guy out. So, just doing my part. But
is that what we call that now?
Yep, that's being a team player. So right now, as we're getting into it, the bowlers do get 5 minutes of practice, so they're taking their warm-ups right now. 39 and 40. Tavio's getting all the screens set up. So 39 and 40 is should be a pretty competitive match. It's the middle division, which I believe is 36 to 49. And so that should be a pretty good match there between those players. Just left of them, 37-38 is going to be the 50 and over division, and there's actually a few really good players there. And then on 43-44 we have the under, and on that pair, we actually a guy who bowled for the title back in 2012, Cameron Foster, and I bowled collegiately with him, and then also me and him duked it out for the to win our division back in 2012. So that was we had a really good match, and he came out on top, and but deservedly so. He's really talented bowler, very nice guy, and you know what I really like he's got a Mario jersey, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, folks, but he has the Mario jersey with the Roto Grip star right on the middle, and it's a really sharp-looking jersey, and especially just because I'm a Super Mario Brothers fan. So we got some good jerseys out there. We got some good bowlers out there. We got a lot of Roto and Storm balls going down the lane, which we definitely like to see that as sponsors of the TAT here. And Ed's on the mic. He's telling the bowlers that practice has expired, and we're going to get down to business. 37-38, the seniors. 39-40, middle. 43-44, the under. One bowler will come off all of those pairs and bowl in the championship match for $20,000. $20K. And if they are in the progressive pot, that adds an extra $23,000. So it'd be a potential $43,000 payday, and a beautiful crystal trophy, which Jamie let me hold it a little bit I got to catch him as he was coming out here. I got to hold my hands. It's really impressive, just a beauty, and it's pretty cool. So here we are. I mean, these are one game. These shots are every single frame very, very important. These bowlers are bowling for a chance at $20K to get to the title match here. So it's going to be a pretty good match out there. And Randy just stepped back in.
Back in action with Matt McNeil, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Beautiful.
And Henderson.
Yes.
I remember back in the day watching TV, and it was always, and Henderson.
And Henderson.
Yeah, and it's like, Henderson, where's that?
Yep.
Back in the day of the Showboat.
Yeah. You know what?
That's nostalgia.
It is, and I was really unfortunate in my life to have never gotten to step foot in that place.
Oh.
And
80 lanes straight across.
Yep.
We bowled there forever.
Yep.
Probably the biggest crowds we've ever had.
Yep.
I'm bowling Marshall Holman, first time ever in match play.
Mm-hmm.
It's Friday night. Last 8 games, you cut to the top 5 for TV.
Yep.
There's not an empty seat anywhere.
Yep.
Place is packed.
80 lanes straight across.
80 lanes
packed.
straight across, and then they had 26 on the other side.
Yep.
I'm bowling the great Marshall Holman for the first time ever in match play. Shake his hand, good luck, you know.
Yep.
You exchange the pleasantries.
Yes.
Marshall,
especially with Marshall.
Marshall
Very
gets it.
competitive.
We're like right in the middle of the house, probably 39 and 40, so probably right in the middle of the house.
Yep.
Front stage.
Yep.
Marshall Holman.
Yep.
1985.
Yep.
He's still the king.
Yeah.
First shot out of the gate, he leaves a pocket 7-10.
Yep.
I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm like, I am so going to kick your butt.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marshall gets up, and he makes it. And everybody in the building, all the fans, saw it. Everybody stood up. The place it's deafening, and he turns around and looks at me and double fists it and looks right at me and starts screaming at me, yeah! And then I went, as I was sitting in my seat, and he promptly kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was my Marshall Holman moment. First time I ever bowled him.
Yep.
I'll never forget that.
One of the greatest.
Makes the 7-10 on me.
Yeah. First
frame one.
Yeah, first frame.
I couldn't get out of the seat.
Yep.
But that was Showboat. Showboat was awesome.
Yep. Yep, and, you know, so much history at the Showboat. You had all the high roller tournaments. Yep. Of course, all the PBA tournaments. You know, lanes 51, 52 at the Showboat. Just
yep.
It's like it was hallowed ground for the sport of bowling.
Made some double shows there with Warren Nelson and Tom Kreitz.
Yep.
In the summer when we had the doubles. It's awesome. I used to love bowling at Showboat. The only thing I hated was the trek because the locker room was on the other side of 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to go upstairs.
Oh, and it was a very skinny stairwell, I heard.
Skinny stairwell.
Yep.
You had to go up 2 flights of stairs,
yep.
grab all your gear.
Yep.
So every year at Showboat, I had a caddy.
Okay.
Curtis von Kruger. The son of
yep.
tournament director Kirk von Kruger.
Yep.
Curtis von Kruger was my caddy.
Yep.
And he would haul all my gear. And I tipped him at the end of the week. I gave him like $5 or something. You
know? Don't spend it all in one spot. So, Randy, just to quick update you. We got on 37-38, we have the seniors.
Okay.
So the winner of that is in the title match.
Gotcha.
On 39-40, we got the middle division.
Okay.
Winner of that, title match.
Gotcha.
43-44, we have the 35 and under division. Winner of that,
title match.
Now, 45 through 48, handicap divisions.
Yeah.
And they're going to have 2 players come off each pair, and then they'll have one more round to determine who comes out.
Gotcha. So we've got 4, we've got to cut to 2, and then 1
yep.
will go into the finals.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So it's getting down to the nitty-gritty, Matt. I mean, this is and the players know that. You know, this is where they really start feeling a lot of pressure. They know that they're 1 win away from making it to the finals, and making the trip to the finals guarantees you how much?
I believe it's wait, it is $5,000 to get out of your division.
There you go.
Guaranteed $5,000. According to the tournament pamphlet, $5,000.
Some good bowlers.
Yeah, there's
taking place right now.
Absolutely.
There's some good players right now.
I tell you what, I bowled against this Cameron Foster the last year I was eligible to bowl this tournament, and me and him duked it out to win our division, and he came out on top. He throws it very, very good.
Well, he started with a spare and then an open in the second, Matt, so he's actually trailing scratch-wise. Is that a scratch game going on right there? There's no handicap involved.
Straight up.
All right. Yeah. Oh, God, he's got a good hand.
Oh, yeah.
And he's playing out.
Yep.
Good bowler, good-looking bowler. He's got a lot of game.
Yep.
And he's got a little ground to make up right now.
Yep, so he's on the right side of your screen, folks, at home. And it looks like he's throwing a intense fire right now.
I don't know how you guys can tell. They all look the same to me. They're all round.
I
look at a little small monitor on the shows.
Yeah.
And people don't understand why I can't pick up a ball change. And I'm like, I can't even tell the difference in the color. I'm looking at an 8-inch monitor.
Now, do you guys get like the...
I need a spotter.
Do you get the info guys that are handing the info and
No.
stuff like that?
Nice.
Yeah, really
no,
nice.
We don't get that.
Okay.
Sometimes the information is relayed to the production truck, and then they'll fire it into my headset.
Yep.
Hey, ball change on, and that's great. Ball change, but ball change to what?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I need to. I always, my job is to always take it to the next level. All right, ball change. Ball change to what? What did he change to?
Yep.
Is it stronger? Asim, symmetrical, surface, not hybrid, pearl, solid. I mean, give me something else other than ball change.
So, Randy, I want to get your professional opinion here, and with 13 titles, PBA Hall of Famer.
How do you know all that?
Well, I do my homework.
Wow.
I mean, I followed your career pretty
Scary.
closely. You were always one of the guys I really enjoyed watching on Saturday afternoon TV.
Wow.
And I don't mean to date you by saying
No. I like the fact that you actually remember seeing me on TV bowling, not talking. That's
Absolutely.
actually
No,
kind of cool.
I remember. I remember a lot of your wins. I remember what you were wearing, what ball you threw, how you won.
See, now you're going straight Patrick Allen on me.
Yeah, I don't.
Now you're going straight Patrick Allen on me.
So
what I was wearing? Oh my Lord!
Yep, I remember.
Can you say restraining order?
Hey, Randy, do you want to get lunch after this?
Yeah, no. Oh, to catch a predator right here sitting next to me. All right. No. So anyway, you were saying.
So, you know, and you bowled a lot of matches for a lot of money. What's like, say, maybe one or two things people watching at home, like, hey, I want to come bowl a tat, you know, if I get in this kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
What's like let's just say one great thing that helped you when you were bowling, like, you know, a match for a lot of money? What really helped you mentally?
I think that I speak for both of us, both you and I, that the least amount of thinking, the better. The more you try to process or over-process, the more you get in your own way. This is where you have to be on autopilot, and you allow your body to do what you've trained it to do. By consciously thinking about a lot of stuff, just inhibits that, and it doesn't allow the process to happen. So, for me, what worked was always kind of a self-talk kind of thing. Going to make the best shot I've ever made in my life. This is going to be so pure. Visualizing the shape, visualizing what it was going to feel like out of my hand, and then just stepping up and shutting everything else off and letting it happen.
Yep. And
most of the time it worked. I had a great record on television in terms of when I needed a hit, winning and. Throwing a strike, throwing a double to win. I was very proud of that because, one, that environment was something that I always felt comfortable in, and two, I knew that there was something about when I felt that I was firing on all cylinders, I didn't think anybody could beat me. My biggest problem was I didn't always fire on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So it was this constant internal battle of me trying to figure out how to throw it good all the time. Whereas you got guys that just, they don't practice a whole lot, and they just get on the lanes, and they always throw it good. For me, I didn't have that.
Yep.
But when I had it, I felt invincible. I felt like there was nobody could beat me on the planet.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it didn't happen as often as I would have liked.
I remember there was I think it was it 87 when you had a couple wins in a row on
Went
the
back
Winter
to
Tour?
back, yeah. I won national championship for my only major, and then I won the very next week.
Yep.
Qualified third for both events and climbed the ladder and won. I averaged like 250 for the 6 games for the back-to-back weeks, and it was a nice little run that I had there.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's say, like Randy, and I'm going to pick out a certain example and try to jog your memory a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, like we're getting into some of these matches here. We got 39 and 40 here. We got, two guys basically on 279 pace, and we got the other bowler. He's pacing 2-1 through 6 frames. Now, I remember the Quaker State when you bowled Don Janello. And you were wearing that red.
Patrick Allen, easy.
Yeah. And you were down by, I think, through 5 or 6 frames.
Yeah.
You were down by like 40 or 50 pins.
Yeah.
Now, mentally, how did you keep the ship righted, so to speak, and you came back and beat him for the title?
Well, I qualified 5th for that event and climbed my way up the ladder, and so I had momentum on my side. Dom was coming in fresh. Lanes transitioned and changed. Even back then, with the urethane that we were using, they changed enough to where I kind of lost my look, and I had to make a pretty big move, and I didn't make that move soon enough. But he was struggling. He wasn't, like, running away. I just got off to a bad start. And then I found it again, and then once I found it and I saw that he didn't have anything, I knew he was done. Mm-hmm. And then I just gas pedaled, to the floor, and then I ran him over. But it was just a kind of a mental thing that I never panicked. I just knew that, all right, the lanes have changed. I got to make the adjustment. I made the move, and then all of a sudden I saw it again, and he didn't see any of it, and I knew he was done. These are great questions. You ought to be in television.
Yeah, I've always.
You're like so Patrick Allen with some of the stuff that you remember. Like Patrick Allen remembers the ball I threw when I won in '87.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's scary.
Well, I knew it was black, but
they all were black.
Yeah, they were all black then.
Oh no.
And that's a 2A10 for Cameron, and just kind of at the worst time. I mean, he was.
Dude, he got the lead.
Yeah, he got the lead. So now he's going to find himself in arrears unless he can find a way to make the 2A10.
Yeah.
And over here on 39 and 40, we got a couple. The letter A bowler, he's pacing 2-1. The letter C bowler is on a 220 pace through 7.
Yeah.
The other bowler's on a 230 pace through 7.
Yep.
So there's definitely some room there for a close finish.
Some interesting stuff going on right now. And my man getting up on lane 44 has got the hammer right now. He can really impose his will with a double here in the 8th and 9th.
So we got a question in the chat from Luke Doyle. He's a two-hander. He threw a friend's drive, and it looked great. But he's seeing a lot of great things from the Hypercell Fused. He hasn't thrown it yet. Luke, I'm gonna this is really easy. Go out, get yourself a Hypercell Fused. It's been one of Roto's just absolute standout balls. The guys
love
on
that
tour,
ball. I love that ball.
The guys on tour really like it.
Yep.
I just actually had a little tournament success on my own with it. We've been drilling a lot for the folks out here at the TAT, and they've been having a lot of success with it. So, Luke, go out, get yourself a Hypercell Fused.
That ball rolls so amazing.
And
It's sick.
Yep. And thank you for the question, too, Luke. So here on the left side of your screen on lane 40, he is.
How about this guy?
That's a six-bagger. Yeah, he's just going up and at him.
What is that he's throwing there, Slim?
A haywire.
Haywire, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I even ask Slim when I could just ask Matt? He knows. My God, it's like I'm sitting next to a bowling encyclopedia. It's awesome.
I bowled a few doubles tournaments with PA. It was a lot of fun.
You know what I'm talking about then.
Yep.
You
It was a lot of fun.
You and PA in the same room is like mashing heads, just slamming heads together. All the knowledge that's in there.
Yeah. He was my first regional title was with him in a doubles tournament.
He's so funny. He's like, Mop, title number 3, 1987 Mop, national championship, Marshall Homan, you're throwing a black rhino.
Yep.
I mean, he knows it all. It's crazy.
Yep, 27-28 at Ducat's Imperial Link.
Oh, my God. 289.
Yep.
Flat 10.
Yep.
At least I'm honest, and I said flat 10.
Yeah, you did. You were very honest. So on 43-44, basically, Cameron Foster's got 230 out. The gentleman he's bowling pacing 223. So if Cameron can get out, he would force his opponent to double in the 10.
Right. So strike out 230, make your opponent show up.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't strike on this shot, he still has 220.
And that was a big shot on the left side of your screen, folks.
Daddy lockups right there, bro.
Yep. Basically, stay in the building.
Yeah. Daddy lockups there.
Yep. Big shot here for Cameron, though, on 44.
Yeah, he's got to strike. I think he's got to strike here to have any chance to win.
He cannot win if he does not strike here.
He's a good bowler.
Yeah, he's a very good bowler. Very, very good bowler. And a really nice guy, too.
Tell you what, that's tour quality right there.
Oh, absolutely.
That's tour game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of bowlers like that across the country that just really don't have the opportunity, or they have really good jobs at home, and the bowling is just kind of a weekend thing, which is really what the regional program was made for. Was for players exactly like that. But this guy has tour quality game.
Oh, absolutely. And mentally, he's very good, too.
Oh, I'm sure. We're going to see that right here in the 10th frame.
Absolutely. He's going to be put to the test.
How about that?
Split the 8-9.
That ball would have knocked 20 pins down.
Yes, sir. So the match on 39-40 basically wrapped up. That match is over. The gentleman throwing the haywire is going to advance into the title match.
He's got 240 with an open.
Yep. The senior match on 37-38, still very close through 8 frames. Actually, it's a 2-pin match through 8 frames. So that'll be a close call. The attention right now, though, Cameron Foster, if he needs this hit to force his opponent to double.
Got it wide.
Oh, no.
Knew it immediately. Got it right.
So it's.
I'll tell you what, though, I like that way better than yanking it.
Yep.
I mean, at least he had a little trust in there, right?
He trusted it. And so it's going to be with a conversion 216. So that forces his opponent basically to mark and stay in the building.
Yep.
A couple pretty good games here on this 39-40 pair. 230, a 220. It just wasn't good enough. Cameron takes 3 out of the 4. It'll be a 215 finish.
Any mark.
Any type of mark. But sometimes, and I don't know about you, but I would rather have to strike than spare.
Right now, I'm going through the same process that I've been using.
Yep.
Nothing's changed.
Yep.
My brain is not saying, okay, any more. No, I'm.
You're just same process.
Absolutely. I'm robot right now.
That's a good piece of advice from a PBA Hall of Famer right there.
What's interesting about the guy on 39 and 40, or on lane 40, who bowled the big 250 game, is where he's playing.
Yeah, he's just going up and at him. Oh, thought it might have been in.
It looked in.
It looked
laid
in
there.
and grabbed. Yeah.
That guy doesn't throw it bad, by the way.
No, he does not. But that did look. It looked a little soft.
Yep.
It looked a little grabbed.
Yep.
It looked a little left. But
and it was there.
You know what, Randy? You know this just as well as I do. When you're in the right part of the lane with the right ball and the right type of ball reaction, that's
Yeah.
how you create the area.
And I think what's really interesting and a credit to this pattern is that these two players are playing the lanes completely different.
So, Randy, I got a question in the chat for you from Jacob Williams. He says he really loves bowling. His question is when is it okay to show emotion? He says he shows it every frame, but should emotions be controlled to the point? And he's also, by the way, a huge fan of yours.
I think that you should be able to do whatever you want to do to have fun. As long as it's not interfering with anybody else, as long as it's not disruptive, as long as it's not creating a distraction for any of the other players, have fun, man. Right, Tavio? Tavio's looking at me going, Randy, yes. Yes, Randy. I think we're gonna let Chris Schlemmer back in here with you, Matt.
Yep.
I'm gonna drop out as this game is ending, and I'm gonna turn it back over to Schlem for a bit, and then I'll be back to rejoin.
All right, sounds good. So everybody at home, we're right now as these matches are wrapping up. We have 2 of the finalists decided. 37-38. The senior division is still being contended. Barring anything
Roto Schlem
crazy.
coming to you.
Roto Schlem.
Yes, sir.
So senior division.
Yeah.
Senior division.
Yep.
37-38.
Gerald just posted 194.
So his opponent needs to double.
That is correct.
Yep, needs to double.
Yep. So we'll see what happens there, and then it was a barn burn here down the stretch.
Oh, great.
And the other matches, and over here in the handicap division, we've got a little time to go with the because we've got we still got 6 on each pair over here, so they're going a lot slower pace than the scratch side. And we'll see. We'll give you the round the pole look here on 37-38, and that's
Brooklyn. Oh,
Brooklyn
try to be a runaway.
And that
gonna
does
do
it. That does it. So G Money, also known around the Detroit metro area as Stroker. Stroker's going to be
Stroker's in
find
it.
his way to the finals.
He's in it to win it.
So we got Gerald Johnson coming to you from Detroit.
So we got I got a
what's
question in the chat. George M. He asked Matt, when are you bowling the Open? And I'm going to assume that he's referring to the Open Championships.
That would be my guess. I'm pretty sure that's what he's guessing.
I'm not. I don't think I'm at that U.S. Open level yet.
Oh, come on. Of course you are.
George, I am bowling May 21st and May 22nd.
Okay, so there you go.
Yep.
If anybody's around that time, you want out here in Vegas, you can stop by and watch 4-time Eagle winner Matt McNeil take his crack at winning another one.
Absolutely.
And let me see if we can get you're right. Let's see if we can get Tavio to spin this around. Hold on 1 second.
So as Tavio's going to switch up the cameras here, you're going to see we're going to be adjusting here so we can call the handicap division finals here. So that's why there's a little delay here. But we're getting everything moved and situated so we can keep the action going for everybody back home. And guys, keep the questions in the chat coming
Are you there?
We're here. We can hear you, Schlemmer.
I'm back. All right. So, we just had Tavio. We did a little, just kind of keep the traffic, keep everything flowing here at the TAT Finals, coming to you live from the Gold Coast Bowling Center.
Yep.
Like we said, we've still got the 2 pairs side by side. We're doing our best to give you a camber angle from 45 to 48.
Yep.
And again, even though there's 2 different divisions down there in the handicap. So you've got the one that's a 189 and under, and then you've got the other one, I believe so, is the 189 to 215, I believe. Is that what it is?
It would be 190 to 215.
Okay.
Or 214.
And because
like
there's
that.
still 6 players, you still got to have another round after this.
Absolutely.
So the 3 scratch bowlers we saw here in the age groups, they're done. They advanced. They're going to be on our TV show here in a little while.
Yep.
Like we said, we'll have another game coming to you. And odds are we're going to try and get that. I believe Jamie and Ed will try and get those games then on the pairs close to us again.
Yep.
So we can broadcast those for you guys. And yeah, so you and Randy had some good bowling talks.
Yeah, yeah. And I got a question for you.
Watching some of the bowling balls, it's been, that's what, again, like we've talked about all week, what's the right way? Or, people come up with like, hey, how should I attack them? Well, how do you throw it? They go, what's that mean? I go, so prime example right there on that pair.
Yep.
Mike Sagers was second high in the pair. That's a buddy of mine from back in Utah. He's using and also a storm staffer, using a halo. The guy that won off that pair was using a haywire. The other guy, I couldn't quite tell what ball that was. And then over next to that, we had Gerald was using High Road X. And then you kind of look over here in the in the handicap pairs. So I see some idols, I see some hybrid self-fuse, I see some no rules exist. Just a variety of different stuff, and it's like there's no right or wrong bay. And if you look at the surfaces too, everything. Some of them are sheen, some of them are dull, some of them are shiny. So everything's in play. I mean, that's what makes this pattern. Even though they came up with the 2019 TAT Phoenix pattern, 40 feet, 27 mils, using terrain oil on front and back. So. Yeah, the variety is kind of the spice of life, I guess, if you want to go that way.
Absolutely, and that's what makes the tournament great. Schlem, I got a question from you.
Yeah.
Kenneth Portis asks, he goes, how would the Halo Pearl, the new Halo Pearl coming out, compared to the original Halo if you took the polish off?
So we can go both directions actually for you. So let's explain it. So if we were to drill a Halo Pearl and a Halo, exactly the same. Difference out of the box, like I said, both covers the same way, the way they are. The Halo Pearl is going to give you probably, it's going to get down the lane to probably another 8 to 10 feet. And the response time is going to be, and what we refer to as response time, it's going to bounce off the friction that much harder. And again, everybody's rev rate's different, so the type of reaction, and again, it gets into the layouts and all that other stuff, but just the natural tendency of the cover stock is going to get that much farther down the lane. Now, if you were to knock that cover off the Halo Pearl, say regular Halo comes out of the box at 2,000. If you take the Halo Pearl and you put 2,000 on it, it's still going to be probably a good 5 or 6 feet cleaner than a Halo. And again, there's still going to be that response time. It's still going to want to check harder off friction than what a solid cover. That's traditionally the characteristics of solid covers to Pearl covers. And hence the reason why we, over the years, these last couple of years, we've developed in the hybrid covers. Because you can build that variety of, like we refer to as response time off of friction, and how they react. And because some people, if their ball speed's a little bit slower, they're better off with a hybrid or a solid and shining up or adjusting a hybrid so it doesn't bounce as hard. Because a Pearl, if they throw it too slow, it just gets down the lane. It looks like somebody kicks it. Some people want that, some people don't. So that's why we do the variety. And then what I was going to say, if we go the other direction, if we were to leave the Halo Pearl the way it is, and if you were to shine up a Halo out of the box, put some polish on it, that's just going to calm it down all the way around. It's going to push a little bit cleaner than what it was, but it's still going to be mellow. It's still going to be a heavy rolling, continuous shape. But again, the response time, it's not going to be as violent off friction. And so that's really the key component when you're looking at pearls to solids. And then, like I said, if you take the hybrids, and then it gets into response times. That's what we played around with as far as the number of pieces. Say in a hybrid, if it's 2-part pearl to 1-part solid, or 2-part solid to 1-part pearl, there's different variables, different reactions we can build. So that's kind of the cool thing there.
Hey, awesome.
So
thank you.
Matt, okay. That one's towards you, Matt.
Yeah.
So you can read that aloud from David.
Kenneth, I hope Roto Schlem's answer for you was covered.
Thanks for tuning in, Kenneth.
Yeah,
we appreciate the support, buddy.
So David Slager, he goes, Matt, what are your top Storm Roto balls that you love since making the move to the Bowlers Company? And so, David, I've been on the road
pretty much since you got hired.
Since I got hired. So I've drilled up a few balls. Obviously, our two new upcoming release, well, it's already released, the Crux Prime, is unbelievable. Just bar none, unbelievable. And maybe because I'm new, I think everything's unbelievable.
Well, and I can give you guys a backstory on that, because knowing Matt for a while now, and he was actually out to Utah, after he signed, and he spent some time at the office, and then, like you said, he's been traveling quite a bit. And, we're just discussing ball motion and stuff like that. And I said, hey, he's like, well, and he drilled, what'd you drill, 14 balls? Or you drilled 6 or 8 when you were at the plant?
Drilled 6 when I was at the plant.
And you were able to drill a few more.
Yep.
And I asked him, I said, so what do you see? He goes, I think the first word that came out of your mouth was variety. And, seeing different parts of the lane different ways. And I think that's the key that most people see, especially upper echelon bowlers like yourself, being able to see the different parts of the mid lane and being able to see the different parts of the back end. And then knowing you're like, okay, so this ball does, I can, your general kind of synopsis, what you're seeing and doing. And then you go, oh, man, if I take that ball, I can do this, this, and this. Hence the reason why our tour guys, and you like you said, you went out there and helped tour rep. You take a guy like Jesper. Well, Jesper's a unique character because he's got like 6 fever pitches now. He just throws them on everything. But even now, we talked to Belmo and some of the other guys. It's like, oh, I got this ball, but I got 3 of them. I may have 2 drilled the same way, different surfaces, and this one. So when this goes this way, you're now going to be able to start kind of building your arsenal off of that. And, I think the other thing I told you, too, is because we've got such a variety across both brands and so many good balls, don't get overwhelmed because you're going to feel like, oh, man, I got to drill this ball, just a ball. Well, then the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I got all these balls, and they're all great. But you only throw one at a time.
Yeah,
exactly. That's still
you only bring so many to a tournament.
Last time I checked, it's still, you can throw one down the lane at a time, and then that one comes back to the ball return to you.
Absolutely.
So, you can't throw like 7 of them at a time in one shot, so it just adds to your deal. But, yeah, I think you're going to navigate through it, bro. I think but you already have some motions that you kind of like. I mean, you already won a tournament.
Yeah, my first tournament out. Which was good.
What balls did you use for that event?
I used a high road. I used a Hypercell fused.
Okay.
And I used a high road pearl.
There you go.
And those 3 balls were just money all day.
Higher G, high diff, symmetrical, and the 2 high roads. One's a hybrid cover, one's a pearl cover, and then you go the other route with the Hypercell fused. Hybrid cover, medium, kind of that medium, what I like to refer to as that medium RG, and kind of a medium to higher differential. But with the cell part, as you've learned, even though it's asymmetrical, it rolls more like a symmetrical because of the cube type shape, and that's one of I like to refer to as Hank Boomershine. Hank Boomershine's one of his babies that he created many years ago in the original cell back in 2008. Which when that ball came out, I was tour repping at the time, and that ball, the first week out, they go, hey, what do you think of this ball? I go, okay, we got 4 guys on the show, and all 4 of them are throwing the cell. What do you guys think?
Yep.
So
yeah,
okay.
So David, I hope that answers your question.
Hopefully that helps you there, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what do we got there? Schlam, how many boards stronger is a Halo Pearl than the Idle Pearl? Idle Pearl, if you love the Idle Pearl, and again, it's the same cover stock. And the other thing too is the same chemical type thing, but when you get into the colors, like I said, we took the regular Halo and I pearlized it. And some of the people that have now seen it, they're like, oh, if you shine a Halo, it's going to still look a little bit different. Yeah, reaction-wise, in comparison, you're probably going to get the Idle Pearl because it's symmetrical. If your rev rate's a certain spot, it'll bounce harder because it is symmetrical. But a Halo Pearl, if you're a medium, if you're a 250 to, I would say, 500 rev rate player, you're probably going to see probably a Halo Pearl probably start. It's going to start sooner than an Idle Pearl, but it's still going to have the bounce, I think. And so trying to define excuse me there. Trying to define the actual board change and what you got going on. I think it's one of those things, if you have a more of the Halo Pearl will be able to handle a little bit more head oil. And if you've got friction to throw at, whether it's in the track or actually the pattern's built that way, you'll be able to use that. Where sometimes the Idle Pearl, because it is so what we like to, terms we like to use, whippy, it may be not as controllable because it's got a wider footprint when you get an asymmetrical core. So it's going to play off of it quite well. Like I said, we've got some videos, and I think Blair's going to work on starting to circulate those with Mikey Tang throwing it. And, he's in the 4th, 5th arrow. And you think about it a lot of times with asymmetrical balls, and Matt, you can probably attest to this, a lot of times you can only move so far with an ASIM, and then you just can't get around the corner. You just can't get it to hit. And we don't say that in a derogatory or negative way. It's because those balls are so strong and so rolly in the mid lane. They're using so much energy coming around it that's where you see where it lags or it doesn't shape and carry. But yeah, like I said, Michael Chang was able to get into 4th, 5th arrow, and he goes, "Are you sure this is asymmetrical? Are you sure that's the halo part?" I said, "Yes, sir." So as we've got hopefully that answers your question. I know it's kind of a roundabout way, but yeah, we'll get some more video and do some comparisons, and we'll be able to get that to you guys. And so I don't know which handicap division is which, but or who's getting what pins. But we got a pressure cooker going over here in some of these pairs. We got, looks like 192 was the high scratch score. Again, not knowing how many pins handicap they're getting. But to tell you, we're this far in the finals, and you had 5 people on the pair.
Yep.
The 45 and 46, the game scores right now posted 192, 190, 180, 182. And that right there is light.
So he could have, he could have struck out.
He could have struck out and took
like
it all, plus his handicap. So that's how evenly matched those 5 players are.
Absolutely.
And then we take the pair down on 47-48. It looks like we've got, let's see, 131 strike and then a split, 137 in the 8th spare up, 114 in the 7th spare up, and ooh, F has got whole spare 4-bagger. So whoever F is on the 47-48's got a sizable lead there going into the foundation frame.
The foundation frame.
You gotta build that 10th. In order to build a 10th, you gotta have a foundation.
That's right. And guys and gals out in the chat, keep the questions coming. It's great. It gives us a little more content to cover while we're watching these divisions whittle down into to find the finalists.
Yeah, so like we were talking about, we've already got three of the 5 set, and don't worry, folks. Whenever we get to our TV show level, we'll actually have our kind of like they do on TV. We'll actually have a bio sheet, so we'll have the players' names, where they're from, their hobbies, stuff they kind of like. If they want to give shout-outs to people, we'll do all that as well for them. And yeah, but until we get to that spot, we still got over here in the handicap side. We'll have to find out who's coming off of those pairs, but yeah, those guys, each division will also still have another round to get it narrowed down to see who makes that telecast.
Yep. So Shalem got a question from Luke Doyle.
Yeah.
He wants to know how the Hypercell Fused compares to the Crux Prime.
D, none of the above.
Apples to anvils?
The closest, I mean, here's the one common thing I can say in terminology-wise. The only comparing word I can say is they both have an asymmetrical core.
Yep. And
the core shape, the core numbers are totally different in each ball. And then it goes the other direction of the cover stocks are completely different. You're talking about one that's the Hypercell Fused, which is a hybrid cover that has 2-part pearl, 1-part solid. And then you take the Crux Prime, and that's a brand new spec cover. Which is a brand new technology that has been developed on the Storm side. That is something unique that the bowling world has never seen, actually. We've been doing a lot of testing on this cover stock, and this cover stock's been about 1.5 years in the testing. And I will tell you guys that the absorption rate on that cover is the slowest in the performance ball across all performance balls in the industry right now. We talk about how fast a ball dies off or this or that. We've been working with a chemist and doing the technology, and in that cover stock, that spec cover, the Storm Performance Enhanced cover stock, it is something special. And I know this because, I'm at the factory. I'm still part of the Storm team, even though I'm the guy in charge of Roto Grip. I've been with Storm now for, I don't want to brag about this or say too much, but, I've been with Storm now. How old are you? 33?
33.
Wow.
Since I was 16.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've been with Storm now to be coming up on 18 years in May.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, believe it or not, I've been around a long time. And, I've always been a part of the Storm family, and so I still am part of that today. And like I said, that new spec cover, we've been doing a lot of testing. And, we have those aha moments when we're going through testing, and whether it's working on cores or cover stocks or whatever, but yeah, that was one of those ones we looked at and we're like, whoa, hey, what is this? And, yeah, so we made sure we went a long way and got it developed, and it is on the Crux core, that Catalyst core, which has been famous. Remember the Alpha Crux from a while back was a ball that everybody loved. And, yeah, that new Crux Prime ball is a monster. Big ball.
Big ball.
But again, in comparison, that ball, as strong as it is a little bit different than even the Halo.
Yep.
Because the Halo is different technology and core. It's asymmetrical as well, but it's got the Microtrax cover, which is a nano additive, so it sees a different part of the lane. Even though the Crux Prime is a big, heavy rolling ball all the way through the lane, it still sees the lane differently than a Halo does. So, and again, you just got to pick your poison. Not every ball is for every person. It depends on the lane surface, the lane oil, condition, lane install. All the other variables go into, hey, is this ball going to match up for me? So that's what you got to factor in and talk to your local pro shop operator and find out what's going to work, for you in your pro, whether it's in that same bowling center or the bowling center where you bowl league or bowl tournaments predominantly. If you want, hey, I want a tournament ball and I want this. So, and we are getting into the 10th frame here, Maddie, and I know looks like we got 178 on the board. We've also got
it's like a 190?
184.
A 184.
And converts the spare. So that's going to give him
170.
154 in the 9th, spare up in the 10th.
The F bowler has really got the hammer in hand because he's
got that's sizable.
Yeah.
And again, getting the handicap, so you know that's going to pass them on to the next round.
Yep.
Because it looked like the one gentleman that won off of this was in the group out of this pair. Is already moving his stuff to 39 and 40. So again, we'll go back to the pairs that we've got surrounded on 41 and 42.
Yep.
Which will be our title pair.
Yep.
Where we will crown a $20,000 champion here at the 2019 January, February TAT here at the Gold Coast Bowling Center.
Bowling Palace.
Oh, that's what it was. I was waiting for you to correct me. You're like, no, yeah, the Gold Coast Bowling Palace. And, we got the scorekeepers down there. We're getting it all dialed in as they're finishing out on 47, 48. So the guy on 47, he's from Chicago. He's actually buddies with some guys I know back that way, and he's Randy's buddy as well, or I think he's referred to as Randy's nephew, or one of Randy's nephews. So we'll get some details from the players as we get down to this next match here in front of us.
Yep, he's got 220 possible.
Luke, you are most welcome. You're most welcome there, sir. Again, there's so many variables. We just like to try and explain the variables the best we can, and hopefully help in your judgment and help in the whole thing. And it's like the whole thing of helping lay out balls this week, Matt. As you know, well, what is your PAB or what else you got, or how are we trying to fit something in there, and just taking that time and showing these people how to add pieces to their arsenal or adding pieces they didn't know they could do.
Yep.
They have that aha moment. They come back to go, that did exactly what you said it was going to do. That's totally cool. We're like, well, I like to tell people, I'm like, well, that's good because today's my first day, so it was totally a blind guess on that.
First ball I've ever laid out.
First ball I've ever mapped out in my life.
Yeah, it's definitely that's one of the things. We were in between you, me, and Mike Devaney and Lee Up. We were all floating in and out, a lot of hours in the ballroom. It's a long week, but you know what? It's every day it didn't feel like going to work, and I know I'm saying this because I'm new, but
right. It's a different type of and like you said, you're being a new guy, and actually, that's something I know you said you were excited about is coming to events like this, and you were at the military last week. It's a different perspective. We work with the best bowlers on the planet on tour, but guess what? There's a lot more other bowlers around the world that make up the bowling community.
Absolutely.
And we try to help every skill. That's what I tell people. I've coached bowlers that's their second time putting on bowling shoes to the legends of the game. I've been very fortunate in my career to see every aspect and every angle and every side of it. And, again, it's been a blessing, being a part of the Storm family so long, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It is what I. Hence the reason why I've morphed into Roto Schlem, as Bill Chrisman, the owner of Storm, likes to call me. It's like, oh, it's not Schlem anymore. That right there. People come by and Bill's like, oh, this is so and so. This is so and so. Oh, that right there. That's Roto Schlem. That's the boss man calls me that. So it's pretty cool. So. We're going to get started here for this next match. So Ed's making the announcements. The winners have to go give their score sheet to the tournament check-in table.
Yep.
and
You
we're
know,
going to
it's
see what pairs we get to. Like I said, it looks like we got 39 40s back on the books again, and I would have to guess that 43 and 44 are going to be the other pair back in play.
Yep.
And then we'll take a short break after this round coming up to establish who is going to be on our top 5 show, and then we'll have in the past we've taken a little bit more time, and we'll get some camera moved, and we'll be kind of like our own little TV show thing. So we're gonna have Tavio. No, we're going to keep going because, we're getting ready to do it. So we're going to have to do like another camera move. So you'll have to bear with us as we play through that. Tavio's going to probably climb up on the table here and start throwing stuff around, which is totally fine. So Kenneth, who coined the name Roto Schlem, it's actually, what's funny is all my years on tour, I had plenty of nicknames. I started with, as a kid, I had a nickname, and then it kind of just, when it came to the tour, Stuff was my kid nickname, and a lot of my friends back home and family, everybody still calls me that, and I still answer to it. And then I went out on tour. I had such a variety of names. It was like it kind of morphed into Schlem, was kind of just my nickname. And then it turned into, I was the Storm Ogre. I was Slim Shady. I was, as Dell would call me, Schleprock.
Yep.
Meaning Dell Ballard. And I had all these different nicknames. And then when I took over the Roto Grip gig, it kind of morphed into that moniker kind of thing. And I forgot, it was somebody in the office, I think we were talking about it. And it's like, well, I'm Schlem, and everybody knows me as Schlem. So that's, I couldn't really call Schlem Grip, I guess.
Yeah.
RG Schlem. But, it just kind of turned into Roto Schlem. And like I said, I don't know it, honestly. But, it just kind of morphed that way. And it's now, as I'm introduced by the owner of Storm and Roto Grip. Even we were just in Japan a couple months ago. Like, oh, yeah, Mr. Crispin, oh, yeah. Oh, Roto Schrem. I mean, that's literally what they're calling me. I'm like, well, I haven't been over there in like 4 years, but they refer to me as that there as well. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Shot my first. All right, Fernando.
Yeah.
Thanks for chiming in here, buddy. First and second 300 with the idle. Well, congrats for that. And think about drilling 2 more up. Stronger than my original for sure. Yeah, so I'm guessing the regular idle or idle pearl. There's so many different ways you can, if you like a ball and it matches your game, there's so many different ways you can actually lay it out and make surface adjustments to get it going there. And Tavio is going to play through as you guys won't see it as much, but we're going to get underway, and here in a couple minutes we'll have the Cameron Foster. Great bowling this week, buddy. We were talking about you while you were bowling. It was great.
Yep, great jersey too. Yep.
Yeah, he was actually goes, that's a Super Mario jersey. He goes, that's really cool. Hey, you got to do what you do. Not everybody can be Roto Schlem. I mean, the Flintstone, the Fred Flintstone thing, although I've had plenty of people, I know we're having a conversation off there with somebody here, but they were giving me a hard time. They go, hey, you should make a Barney. I go, I think I'm a little bit big to be a Barney. I'm just saying. I'm more of a Fred kind of guy. So the only thing I need to get is my big Moose Lodge hat. That's what I need to get.
The Grand Poobah.
Yeah, that's what I need, the Grand Poobah hat.
Yes.
So we're working on that.
Yep.
All right, safe travels. Y'all did good this week. And that was Cameron Foster, him and his wife, Kirsten, heading back to Utah.
So,
go ahead.
I'm going to hop. Fernando, there's definitely, if when you get a ball that you really, really like in your hands, like you were saying, and I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, all you, bud. Jump in.
But, I've thrown quite a few bowling balls in my career. And,
not just a few, quite a few.
Quite a few. And
not just one. Not just a dozen, quite a few dozen.
Yeah.
Dozen hundreds.
When I get one that I really, really like, generally what I do is, if you have a really good feel for the ball, you can definitely use, I always say a lot of the better players, generally have like 3 to 4 favorite layouts, like that they use kind of across the board. So when you get that one piece of equipment that you really jive with, definitely, grab a couple more, use a couple other of your favorite layouts on that ball, and that'll keep you in the piece that you really like, but it'll give you some different shapes, and that's really, really important to being successful, game 1 to game 3 if it's league, or game 1 to game 8 if it's tournament.
And you know what, even
like
to go one step further on that, Matt, is even and those balls that become favorites in the bags of a lot of players, it's like, okay, well, it's time to drill a fresh one. Same exact layout.
Yep.
And just have one with a brand new out-of-box cover as opposed to one that, say, has 100, 200, 300 games on it.
Absolutely.
Because the reaction's different. I mean, there was countless times in my years as a tour rep where I'd have guys who were like, hey, I'm thinking this or thinking that. And there was some times where we just did, hey, let's do a fresh one. Because you know that you like that shape and it's reading the lane the right way and doing the right thing.
Yep.
Let's drill a fresh one and then see if we have to adjust the cover at all. Because the one thing I hated doing back in the day was changing the cover on the old one. Because you know it's already into its different stage of life.
Yep.
And if you changed it, you add surface to it, or the only thing that worked okay was you could shine them up.
Yep.
But if you added surface to it, all you kept doing is open and open and open, and then you just make it earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yep.
And then sometimes it did. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it called for that. But more often than not, we would leave the old one the way it is, and then dial in the new one because it had such few shots on it. That was kind of our thing.
Yep.
But but that's a common thing as well. I mean, especially like we talked about, a guy like Jesper, and you just witness that firsthand.
Yep.
He's like, oh, I have this one. Here's my pinup drilling that's this way. Well, I've got two of those. here's my other pinup drilling that's this way. I got two of those.
Yep.
So based on the number of games per cover stock, and then what you have to do is get good at keeping track of your cover stocks. So. And Fernando, I have both Idol and Idol Pro. Love them both. Well, we appreciate that, buddy. That's been that was one of my sole focuses when we developed that core, and then trying to pick out a cover stock and making sure to do the right thing. Because my job as brand manager is making sure I build I've always taken pride in trying to build a product line top to bottom, and side to side in the Roto Grip line that just works, and you can actually use it on a variety of conditions, but also help that complement the storm side.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you guys the mindset behind the Idol was the fact of, the next generation of that nano cover stock was actually because the haywire was so good for so long. Eventually just kind of the sales slowed down, so I had to get rid of it. But that Idol is really kind of the mindset behind it of, hey, Schlim, that haywire's good, but can I get a little bit more? And so that was the mindset really of getting a core that's symmetrical, but finding a way to get more change of direction down lane was really the sole focus.
Absolutely.
So that's what we had going on there.
Yep. And Ed, tournament MC, Ed Duffick, the Saltery Tones, has gotten our competitors hold up on their practice, and we're going to get underway, and we're going to find out the next two. They're the fourth and fifth members of that fatal five-way title match.
Fatal five-way, for the TAT strap.
Yes.
Which now I have to talk to Jamie. Maybe we need to do that instead of doing the big crystal bowl.
Let's do a championship
Maybe it just needs to
wrestling
be a
belt.
championship belt that you just throw over your shoulder, and then we give you the microphone, and then you just talk your stick and then just walk off with a mic drop. That's
right.
what we need from the bowling world. We'll have to see if we can get working on that.
And you get to pick your entrance music.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep.
We could really change this. Oh, and through the first shot here on 39 for the A bowler, he takes it through it goes through the face, and he carries a strike.
Yep. Now on the right side of your screen, 43 and 44. Boy, these guys were just striking nonstop. Lights come on. Schlem. Are we seeing a washout? We'll see what Mr. Ramirez does.
1, 2, 8, 10.
So, but I tell you what, as a player, I've been through this countless times. The lights come on, and now everything changes. And that's one of the toughest things as a player when you get into these rounds is being able to mentally stay so focused, so quiet, so still, to be able to stick to your process. And even though the lights come on and we're bowling for a chance at $20,000 here, you can get it off your hand clean and right over your target. So
I'm now beginning to wonder too. We may have another round in here, unless it goes the top 1 out of 4.
It is.
It is the top one coming out of 4. Okay.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, because we lost 2 bowlers on that last set because both these matches down. A couple pairs actually had 6 bowlers, so they lost 2 that round.
Yep.
So now we're going to narrow it down from 4 to 1.
Yep.
As the other contestants, the other scratch division bowlers are actually down in a practice pair.
Yep.
And they're just staying loose and warm because it is they got done almost a full. I mean, they were 6 frames ahead, and then now these guys have this whole other game to go. So those guys are down there throwing some shots and getting it going. So We are trickling through this handicap. We're going to 7-10, and then, like you said, then the other guy gets, wow, 4-7-10.
And they were striking at will.
I know, whoever Will is. He was striking, though.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to step back out of here. I'm going to let Randy Peterson step back into his spotlight as he freshens up. Oh, hold on, we get to the makeup. Going to get makeup done, just like on Fox.
Take my meds, bro.
Oh, sorry. That's what happens when you have, as you get older, and I can attest to this, as I'm getting older, and Matt, you'll get there someday, you start taking more pills and you do different things. You're like, man, I'm never going to get old. I'm not going to, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, now I got to take pills. Anyway, so Randy Peterson's going to hop in, and I'm going to give him the big melon head headphones so he can bitch about it again. That'll be good.
The buffalo.
Here comes the buffalo.
Here's the buffalo. Just what you need. It's a blip ointment. I'm in.
Randy, welcome back.
Where are we? What are we doing?
Well, we have the 189 and above.
Okay.
Actually, it's 189, I think, to 214 is on 43-44. One person will come out. That'll make up the fourth person in the 5-person championship match. On 39 and 40, the left side of your screen, it's a heads-up match in the 188 and below, I believe. And I do not know the handicap differences on these. We don't have the particulars of the handicap. But I'm going to go along again, Randy, and just say that if you have the higher score, odds are you're probably moving on.
Probably have a
into
good
that.
chance,
Yep,
right?
You got a good chance. And Kenneth Portis in the chat, thanks for joining us. He has a question. He said, Matt, do you play music in your head while you bowl? And Kenneth, absolutely I do. I find that's really important for me. In helping me stay very mentally still. And also, I try to pick songs that match the tempo I want to have for that day. So if I need to throw the ball a little quicker, I like to put a faster beat song in my head. When I need to slow things down, I like to have a little slower song, maybe like some Boys to Men or something like that. Randy, did you ever do anything like that?
No, but every time I take an Uber ride, I always play Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
In the Uber,
All
while
right.
I'm taking the Uber. Yeah, it's on my phone. I play it as loud as I can for me and the Uber driver. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken, for the question. And also, Ken noted that his girlfriend really likes your jokes and one-liners.
Thank you to Ken's girlfriend. At least someone's listening.
Shout out to Jesus Gutierrez. I hope I got that right, Jesus. Jesus is asking thoughts on the Crux Prime. Randy, have you thrown the Crux Prime?
I have not, but I've seen it go down the lane a lot, and it's really good. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I did throw it. When we taped a bunch of stuff at Kegel, I was actually throwing the Crux Prime. Very strong, really, really good. Love it.
I'm going to just say ditto to that.
It's good stuff.
It's pretty phenomenal. What I really like about it, though, is even after they break down a little bit, you can kind of chase it in with that ball
You
and
can.
still really get it around the corner.
Can. Yes,
For a big
sir.
ball, generally you have to ball down, but
I
not
agree.
with that ball.
I agree.
Hello to Nicholas. Oh, boy, that's going to Oh, I'm sorry. Nick, I'm just going to say, Nicholas, thanks for tuning in. Hello from Rhode Island. And, Randy, we're getting down to it. We have 3 bowlers going for one spot, 43-44. 2 bowlers going for one spot, 39-40. A lot of money here on the line. If you win this match, you're guaranteed $5,000 with a chance at 20. If you're out, not sure on the particulars, but I'm sure it's not $5,000.
Big bucks, no whammies. That's what we're looking for.
That's what Peter Tamarkin would say.
I love it. A Peter Tamarkin reference. That's awesome. Oh my God, you are an amazing fountain of knowledge.
I know everything about
everything about everything. I love it. It's great. Peter Tamarkin.
Peter Tamarkin.
Big bucks, no whammies, and stop.
classic show. One of my favorite shows growing up as a kid.
I love watching The Price is Right and listening to them bid and yelling at the screen going, why didn't you just bid $1,001? You bid $1,100 and then you missed by 50 and all you had to do was bid $1 over the highest. What is wrong with you? Oh, God.
Randy, in your recovery, I don't suggest you watching The Price is Right. It sounds like you get a little amped up about that one.
I'm almost fully healed, for those of you wondering at home.
And I think everybody's glad to hear that your recovery is going well.
D'Ambrosio, my buddy from Chicago, split 3 out of the first 4 frames. Big 4 staring at him now. Not good. Uh-oh. That needs to hold.
Yep. Tried to go for the crossover again.
He's from Monterrey, Mexico.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I actually
nice man.
Really nice man. I worked with him a little bit before the tournament started.
A couple days ago I was there.
Glad to see
you worked with him, and nice to see. Yeah. It's nice to see when you work with somebody that you didn't completely ruin them, and that they still have it. Because I've ruined more good bowlers in my day than you can imagine. But he's got a shot at winning this whole thing, and
he does.
He's 1 game away from advancing to the finals.
And he finds himself in a little hole early. He's on 180 pace through 5. The other bowler through 5, he's already strike spare triple. So he's already on 2-1 pace.
Yep.
And 43-44, Randy, all these bowlers are trying to play so far right. I think if they're going to commit to playing that far right, it might come down to who doesn't split the most.
Right. Fill frames. Make your spares.
Yep.
When you're bowling on a demanding oil pattern, it's all about making spares. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen it, whether it's a TAT, ABT, amateur tournaments, it all comes down to spare shooting. Make your spares, fill frames, and grind.
Absolutely.
I always tell my students, you're coming out for one of these events, do yourself a favor. Practice shooting spares for a month.
Mm-hmm. And there's a very nice shot. By Rich Pascua. I'm going to say Pascua. Pascua. Close.
I think you're probably pretty close.
All right. Question for you, Randy.
Sir?
Nicholas just wants to know what's your all-time favorite ball. His is the Roto Grip Critical.
I would say my all-time favorite ball would probably be IQ Tour. Probably IQ Tour. Just love the shape of it.
Yep. Absolutely. Just a absolute great benchmark ball.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of like trying to follow in the footsteps of High Road and being in the product line for many, many years because it's just so good, so unique. Tournament director Ed from TAT is down here with a trophy and some kind of scarf-looking thing.
It's like a towel.
Getting set.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's...
I'm going to hang out with the guy that wins 20 grand. The person that wins 20 grand.
You're going to hang out with them.
I'm going to hang out. I'm going to see if they throw a little something my way.
I think that's a good plan.
You know? Hey, Randy, let's go down to the tables. 1,000 for you, 1,000 for me. Let's see what we can turn it into. Love it. I guarantee you they'll cash that check downstairs in a heartbeat.
And I'm guessing the cage here at the Gold Coast Casino and Resort will gladly take that check from the TAT.
I know everybody down at the cage on a first-name basis.
Is that good?
No.
Oh, so it's not a good because you've been cashing in a lot of winnings.
No, it's I've been getting cash advancements.
Okay.
Yeah. Until they said, sorry, Randy, we can't give you any more cash. You're broke. Fox needs to pay you more. Lordy.
Randy's bosses, if you're listening, Randy needs a raise.
Randy needs a raise. Look at that shot there. Nice.
There by Rich. And that's
good
big.
bowler.
That's a big double. That puts him out into the lead through 5 frames.
You like the line my friend from Monterrey, Mexico is playing?
I think he needs to get a little left. He needs to open up his angle a little through the front. He needs to bring the
but
ball
as soon as he
speed
misses
down.
a little bit right, it hangs. So wouldn't you move him like between, say, 4 and 8, maybe? or between first and second arrow?
Well, you know, actually, remember that guy with the haywire we were
Yeah.
just watching? I would say, yeah, go
Right-
go a
right in
little
that zone.
Yeah, go a
Absolutely.
little right and get a little more up and at him. Or he has to go left and slow down. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's his A game.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
guessing-
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
that's take what he's doing right now,
Yep.
move him right,
Yep.
and throw it just right a second arrow.
Yep. And your buddy gets a fortunate pick of the 3-6-10.
Yeah, D'Ambrosia, Ambrosia, he's struggling a little bit. Got off to a bad start, no strikes, but back-to-back spares, 7-7, 5th and 6th, but he needs some help. Hopefully he's got a lot of handicap and he can string a couple strikes here and make it close. My man Rich throwing it off the G and just ripping racks.
He's playing that twig.
Love it. Way to go, Rich.
He's open up pretty.
He's got a little fan base sitting over here to my
He
right.
does. He's got a.
I wonder if they're vested.
They
I
might
wonder if
be.
they have some of his action.
They might be. There
They're
might
thinking
be
right
some
now,
deals
20
going
grand,
on.
20 grand. Oh, Ambrosio. Solid 9. All right, another spare over there for my man from Monterrey, Mexico. But he needs some help, bro.
He needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
He can get out for 198. His opponent on 216 pace.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
going to need his opponent. He's going to have to strike out and hope his opponent opens twice
Yep.
in the next 3 frames.
Yep.
But we've seen a lot of weird things happen in the sport of bowling.
Nathan Wyatt. I'll spot you, Randy. Nice to say I hung out with a Hall of Famer. Well, thanks, Nathan. If only I could remember where we hung out.
So tournament director, or tournament MC, I should say.
Are you joining us in the booth at all, or is it just going to be Matt and Randy?
The Matt and Randy show.
All right, so these are 3 players that are already in.
Yeah, those are 3 of the finalists.
So we got some info.
Is that Smek?
Schmeck, S-M-E-K-E.
Smek?
Smack.
This is the senior.
All right.
This is the middle. This
Middle,
is the under.
Jose Smek from Mexico City, Mexico. Gerald Johnson, and this is a senior? Is that what he said?
Yes, I believe. Yes.
The senior.
Gerald Johnson's a senior.
Is the under.
J.R. Martino, the under.
He goes by Nuke, though. We have to call him
Nuke?
Nuke.
J.R. Martino goes by Nuke.
Nuke.
I'm going to go through Gerald Johnson's bio. Taylor, Michigan is his hometown.
Home of Taylor Lanes.
We used to bowl at Taylor Lanes for many, many years. For those of you that are familiar with that area, you all know the landing strip. Hobbies, golf, and work.
Good hobbies.
Shout-outs. My 4 sons back home. G, Dre, Deshaun, and Trayvon. Bowling achievements, 300 games. He's got more 300 games than I do. This guy's a sandbagger. All right, Martino, which goes by Nuke.
Yep.
He's from Pittsburgh. His hobbies are golf, movie buff, and tattoos. You got to love a guy who says his hobbies are tattoos. You just got to love that. How about this one? Bowling achievements. 2018 Nesbitt's Open Champion. That's Nesbitt Lanes in Pittsburgh. I used to room with Greg Nesbitt on tour.
Really?
Yes.
Small world. Well, your friend from Chicago and your friend from Monterey.
All my friends are gone.
Your friends
Yeah,
are.
they're all gone.
They're going to be packing up their bags here. But
See you later.
A great week of bowling.
And if you wouldn't mind, Matt, is there any way that you could get these guys to pick up the pace? Because my Rams are playing in about 45 minutes.
Randy, I'll see what I can do.
Let's go. I got to see my Rams. I'm sorry, but I'm a diehard Rams. Nice spare. I'm a diehard Rams fan, and it's our time. It's 20 years since our last Super Bowl, and it's our time. And Tom Brady, as great as he is, and Belichick, as great a cheater as as great a coach as he is, it's our time.
Well, everybody listening to live stream, we all know who's Randy. We all know who Randy has his money on.
Well, no, I didn't bet on him.
Didn't bet on him?
No, I
Nope.
did not place a wager.
Okay.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because I feel that would be bad luck.
Okay. All right.
If I bet on the Rams, I would feel that that would cost them the victory. So I left it alone.
So we got this one's actually
Real interesting on 43 and 4.
Very.
Yeah.
So Rich goes 4, 6, 7. So if he picks this up, he's
not picking this up.
Well,
although I did see Nick Barnett
Yes.
make the 4-6 this week.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know who Nick Barnett is, how about Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers linebacker? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Roto Grip staffer.
Yep.
He just played if I would have been his coach this game, I would have moved him about 8 right.
Mm-hmm.
My friend from Monterey just played the wrong part of the lane and got smoked.
Yep. So that match is over.
Yep.
And
Ambrosia bowling 130. He's toast.
He's out. But on the other side of the coin, we have.
Yeah, he got stomped like a narc at a biker rally this match. Not good. Great conversion there, though.
Very
nice
good conversion.
Make it respectable, brother. Make it respectable. That's my man. All right.
So
tell me what to do. This lady standing next to me said, "Shut up, you." I love it. It's great.
We got a good crowd here at the Gold Coast.
They're like, "Wait, didn't we just see you on Fox and you're doing this? What the heck?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Fox flies me around on the private jet, bro. It's awesome."
So Mr. Ramirez, he can put a 4-bagger to here.
Big shot.
Big shot. Oh.
Great shot. Whoa. Don't look now, folks. We've got a match.
198 possible for Rich. 220 possible for his opponent. So Rich has to go off the sheet, put up his 198, and then hope that some sort of trouble befalls his opponent.
Boy, did this match turn around quick, huh?
It can do that. The messenger falls short.
Wow.
So it looks like Mr. Ramirez is just going to need to stay in the building. Moderately good count, and he is going to. It looks like he's going to be the fifth man in the five-way championship match for $20,000.
75 300 games for Jose Smeck. These guys have a bunch of 300 games, bro.
Yeah. They didn't make it this far on their good looks, Randy.
You and I did. Wow, did that match turn around quick, right?
Oh, I mean, you look at the seventh frame. I mean,
Rich was in complete command through 7.
Yep.
Actually, through 8.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, open, 3 spares in a row open, and then a 4-bagger changed the complete complexity of this match. He's got a nice game, by the way.
Really nice.
Piping it up 5. Yep. Love it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, he was kind of out. That's where Cameron Foster was that match before.
On that same pair.
Same pair, yep.
Was the bowling on? Yeah? How was it?
So Gear Shifter wants to know which 4 bowlers are left. Well, we have 3 of them right in front of us. Jose Smeck from Mexico, Gerald Johnson from Taylor, Michigan, and J.R. Martino, a.k.a. Nuke, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The 4th bowler we will get to you as soon as possible. And then the 5th bowler, barring a disaster of sorts, is going to be Carlos Ramirez. And Senior Singles Open, thank you for that tidbit. Gerald Johnson, 5-time bowler of the year and 18-time winner, most of any bowler in our association. That's pretty good accolades. Oh, no!
What happened?
Oh, he fouled. He fouled.
What the heck just happened?
He stuck at the line.
Are you kidding me?
No, he stuck at the line, went over the line after delivery of the ball. It is
That's a foul.
tournament MC Ed Duffick is out there.
Oh my Lord!
It looks like a foul is going to be called.
Something was on the approach. Ed picked it up. I don't know if that's what he slid into.
But so now a complete change
Well,
of
well, now hang on though.
yes.
Spare strike. He still shoots 190.
Yes. And his opponent 180. Rich
Don't
had
know what the
180.
handicap is, right?
We don't know. But now he has to wait for the approach to be cleaned off.
Oh my, that's incredible. Does anybody know what the handicap difference is? Richie has 5 more pins, so no matter what,
It's
it's
Rich
over.
wins.
Chris cannot catch him.
Wow.
Can you replay that, Tavia?
I can't.
You can?
So we're going to bring this up again.
I didn't save it. This doesn't have record going on.
Oh, so we can't. Tavio just said we cannot replay this.
It doesn't matter. It's over because Rich gets 5 more pins handicap, which puts him at 193. Max score 190. 5 more. Well, wait a minute, though. 5 more pins.
Rich gets 5 more than his opponent does. So Mr. Ramirez had to beat
Wait a minute.
Rich by 5. And he can only
Yeah, but he
shoot-
could shoot 190.
But his opponent had 188.
Okay.
So that's only a 2-pin difference.
No, Richie has 22, he has 17.
22 and 17 is 5. Can't get him.
Yeah, he cannot get him. So
He'll lose by 3
Just
if he spare strikes. Unreal. And he
Unbelievable.
struck on that shot.
yes, he did.
And he struck on that shot.
Yeah, unreal.
Boy, I mean, you just got to feel
Oh, that's
horrible
awful.
for Carlos.
That's awful if that happened.
Wow.
Inexplicable.
Inexplicable.
Everything is going right. All of a sudden you get up and you stick. What?
Just
I mean,
need to stay in
how
the
is that?
building. Stay in the building.
How is that even possible?
I mean, that's
Wow. Incredible.
yep.
Finals coming up. Matt McNeil, Randy Peterson show. It's the 2019 TAT coming to you live from Gold Coast. Back with more right after this.
Yeah, do you do anything else, or you got? No, I'm actually good. I'm just gonna reset up again. It's pretty easy just do that. That way. Yeah. That way. Try to take a picture.